You're watching my favorite YouTube channel. I'm going to do this differently. Since it's Sunday, we have the benefit of the box office projections, and this is a $55 million opening weekend. That's poor. What you want from this film franchise is more than 55. I can tell you it's poor by comparing it to something like The Little Mermaid, which opened to a 3-day weekend of 95 million. And so we're at a place from the beginning where we're underperforming. That may impact what I feel about this movie because I'm coming now from the perspective of it wasn't that bad. What are people not clamoring to see? How important is marketing this movie? Do you really need your lead actor to be out on the couch with Jimmy Fallon slapping knees and stuff? Is that what's needed? Then go ahead, break that glass in case of emergency. The Ezra Miller sheltering was like a $500 million saving decision. It turns out after this box office from the opening weekend, didn't help. Now you need to course correct. Now you need to do the interviews. Now let's get out there. Let's do everything it takes so everybody knows that there's a Flash movie and have Ezra do the rounds. I didn't realize how important media appearances were. I feel after seeing 55 million, it might be really important because it's not the Flash's problem. The Flash has been around as a known brand for years. We've seen a lot of Flash in like somebody like my lifetime with my age, some older folks in their lifetimes, younger people get exposed to Flash as well. So it's a matter of promotion. That's what I'm gonna blame that 55 million on. The movie itself. Whew. Yeah, I didn't care so much about Ezra Miller. There were a couple times in this movie when he was talking to the baby's nurse and he goes, with the Justice League, we're not too very good on the mental health and you need to seek a professional. I'm like, whoo, that's very Ezra Miller-y, you know? That they could have cut that joke out of the movie. It would have been the same movie. It would have been even shorter and a better enjoyable time. I would have not had that. And then the second time was when he was saying no comment to Iris West. And I feel like that's like a Ezra Miller thing. I'm not going to give you guys a comment. That's my official statement. And that took me out the movie. Every other time, though, I've been in the movie and I've been invested. I'm impressed with how there was two Barry Allens that they had on screen at the same time. Seamlessly, never a problem. There wasn't a seamless thing with the Flash suit. It did look CGI. Somebody tipped me off to that. And as I'm watching the film, I can tell what you guys are trying to say. It was a reddish, overexposed on the camera lens type suit. It didn't mesh well with backgrounds. Just give him a proper suit. Really didn't need it. By the way, spoilers. The over reliance on CGIs and deep fake technology, even when you think about the Christopher Reeve moment, was apparent. Now, the Easter egg hunt for me was real. I loved it. It was fun. I would have loved if I didn't hear "Let's Get Nuts" from Michael Keaton during the trailers. Probably could have reserved that. And if you made me feel a special way in the theater, I would be recommending it to the world. Like, oh, you guys got to see this, but you made me feel that in the trailer. And did that trailer really help? Or were the people who were going to see this movie already going to see this movie? Don't reveal too much in your trailers. It didn't help with Fast and Furious. It didn't help with The Flash. Don't reveal too much. Reveal the plot from the beginning of your movie. Don't reveal those special moments which are gonna make us feel good. Let's Get Nuts is a callback to what Michael Keaton said prior. Let's Get Nuts is a great line that I would have kept for the in-theater experience. I would have still showed Supergirl because it would have been a letdown if you're expecting Clark Kent and you go to the movies and it's not Clark Kent, it's not the Henry Cavill Superman. So I'd have revealed the Supergirl thing and Kara El. Great character. And I love the one Kara asked about the S on the chest. And then the younger Barry says Supergirl. He goes, Hope. And yeah, you saved because of hope. You got to be a hopeful person. And Kara was like, that guy over there, Zod, he's not of my people. The Zod villain, I'm happy he wasn't the main villain. And I was happy to see that the reverse or the other Flash, what was darker, would be the main villain. And then when I find out who it was, and it wasn't so much of an evil villain, and there wasn't going to be a final fight where someone goes, boom, tornado punch, or something crazy and epic. That made it lose points. It was an emotional ending, and I'm not for that. I am for, remember what happened with the Justice League? Steppenwolf is fighting them, knocks him out into another portal. But before that, Diana takes her sword, slices off his head, looks through the portal. There's Darkseid. There's the Earth's mightiest heroes just staring back at him like, yeah, that's what's here. Yeah. Warning. I love that. That's how you end the movie. And they could have done something similar to that, and they chose not to. I'd have loved to see all these other universal time bubbles. What would you call them? Vortexes? Paradox vortex? Whatever the accurate scientific word is, I'd have loved to have all of them kind of like combine, join forces, stand epically, look at that mean Flash that's the bad guy, and he's like, I can take you guys on. I know how to defeat every one of you. And he just going defeating all of the other alternate universes of Superman and Nicolas Cage and everyone. And then Flash goes, you don't know how to stop this. And he, I don't know, vibrates through the molecules or something. I'm not the screenwriter here, but I would have loved for a beating to end the movie, because that's the kind of violent guy I am. Okay. The jokes in here were great. Baby shower was hilarious. I loved a lot of the funny light-heartedness of it. The lasso of truth and seeing Gal Gadot return for Wonder Woman, just like she did in Shazam 2. I don't know what's going on, because they do things that make it seem like they could have had continuity and an attached universe this whole time. Except we got these things in the last 3 movies of a dying franchise. They don't know what's going on. I think they realize movie by movie, we can get Wonder Woman in here, good. But there's no actual plan to get Wonder Woman. It's not like they mentioned the Watchtower or something. Like, it'd be a better way to communicate if we have a Watchtower or something orbiting the sky. And I would have said, they're leading to a Justice League. But there was none of that in this movie. They just, movie by movie, DC just decides, we can definitely fit in George Clooney. We can squeeze in Ben Affleck. He can come back here. Let's do something with Aquaman at the end. Let's just jump to the end. That Aquaman appearance with Arthur Curry didn't do anything to me. If we can give it points for something, we can say that as he resets the universe and, it's not Ben Affleck anymore, it's Clooney. We can say, okay, well, the Aquaman is still going to be that version. It'll be the same guy. Except here comes Safran and James Gunn, who are the directors, the producers of the studio. They're the presidents. They'll be running things. They're resetting. So what does that even matter? The Aquaman scene at the end, why did we even stay for that? Things are being reset. There's nothing Ezra Miller has on this studio. If this was a hit movie, $1 billion in the box office, and things are great, maybe, and I wouldn't even think they'd do it, but maybe they could wrestle with, do we keep Ezra Miller or not? It's a profitable decision, but what about the off-screen shenanigans? You don't even have to worry about that anymore. This Flash movie seems not to be very profitable. It's a long time, though. This movie will still be in cinemas next week, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, and maybe enough people like me who are telling you it is actually good and worthwhile seeing, maybe it'll be profitable. And it'll be worthwhile to keep this version of Ezra Miller. My best guess is Gunn and Safran. They just go, we did Ezra Miller. We did Barry Allen. Let's do Wally West. Gonna cast somebody else. Don't worry. Hey, Ezra is still our Barry. We're just using Wally West right now. Iris. You guys know Iris West. This is Wally West. What can I talk about next? The Russian decision to not to have Kal-El and having a different version was something that I could support. It was something to make it different. The differences from that Flashpoint movie we all watched in 2013, the differences from that to this were necessary. I didn't want to see another Diana Aquaman beef. The changes were great. The flying scenes were awesome. I loved the way that Batmobile, the flying bat, what do you call it, the Batwing? The thing he flies that he pilots and how it could rotate. Good job. The moments inside with lightning and stuff, with doing this, great. The Flash powers were fully shown. I needed the tornado thing he did from the Justice League. He didn't do enough of that, but he did kind of run around Zod so that Kara-El could do some punches. So we got a lot of the powers that we wanted. If you're a Flash fan and you wanted to see vibrating molecules going phasing through walls and other things. Yeah. And what happens when you take a regular civilian and he goes super speed turbo mode? Well, he vomits afterwards. So it was good. It was a Flash movie. It was a very Flash movie. You got to see this. You're really like you're not doing yourself a service as a superhero fan if you skip this one. I liked it. Didn't like it as much as Spider-Verse. Across the Spider-Verse was a better enjoyable movie. I just saw that a couple weeks ago and I could feel it. I do like that one better. But the pacing was still on point here. There was a lot good to enjoy from this film. I had a good time watching it. So if I gave Spider-Verse 9, maybe this is an 8, possibly a 7. Let's go down to 7 just because of the way they wasted my time with the end credits scene, okay? Yeah. I'm Chillmonger. I'm getting a phone call. Deuces.